So my solar panels just came in today, and so I'm running out to the RV park, even though we're not back until Sunday, to go and get them. I want to see how I'm going to fit them up and get to work on a plan of how I plan to mount them to the roof here.
Oh, the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
So my neighbor here in the park has a NuWave oven, and I've been thinking that would be a really cool way to have an oven if you could run it on solar and your battery power and everything, because the convection ones, they do take a lot of power. So I'm about ready to go over there with a Kil-A-Watt meter and find out how much power that it takes to run that NuWave oven. Okay, so this is my neighbor's NuWave oven setup here, and he's grabbing an extension cord so we can pull it out here and use the Kil-A-Watt to be able to tell us what kind of power it draws. So I'm kind of interested in seeing that. He's pretty happy with it. This is a pretty simple setup on this NuWave. So you got a coil and a fan, and that's it. All right, so we're starting at 0. Our wattage pull is 1300 watts.
That's a lot.
It's not bad when you're comparing it to an oven though.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty close.
And 1300 watts will still run on the Kodiak, so.
Okay.
It'll run for about 20 minutes on that.
It's enough for dinner.
Yeah.
Like this can take a frozen steak, 1-inch steak, 10 minutes on one side, flip it over 13 minutes on the other side, and it comes out medium.
Okay.
That's slick.
That's perfect. Time for dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to be going 200 degrees, find out what kind of power draw it takes for that. And we opened it back up, so it has to heat it back up inside. So we're not cheating.
Yeah, you're right. There we go.
There we go. It's turned on.
Okay.
Okay, so it heats it up. See if that falls off once it's heated up. Yeah. So that's what it takes, that wattage only until it's heated up to temperature, it looks like.
Okay.
And then it falls. And then it falls. It's got it to heat temp.
Once it gets to the heating,
then it just holds it there. Wow. So what did it take? About a minute to get it to temp? That's pretty cool.
Now it's circulating the convention, the air. So it's not doing a constant high voltage. Well,
yeah, high watt. It doesn't need that wattage the whole time. It needs it for a period of time. We're out of the park now, and what we've started doing is, instead of, you know, basically hiding from the police and trying to stay out of people's hair while we're parking in random parking lots or whatnot, and on the side of streets. And I'll show you some of those spots. We did spend this whole time now like 4 months, 1 week every 2 weeks, stealth camping here in San Diego. So we had a lot of success with it. But now that financially things are getting a little bit better for us and we're a little bit more stable, we don't really want to have to do that anymore. And what we're doing now is we are actually paying to stay here for the week that we're out of the RV park from Thousand Trails. But doing this, I'm going to be going ahead and taking it as an opportunity now to go ahead and show you guys the places that we had been parking since we've been here in San Diego, kind of like some ideas on where you might be able to do it if you're ever here. So my solar panels just came in today, and so I'm running out to the RV park, even though we're not back until Sunday, to go and get them. I want to see how I'm going to fit them up and get to work on a plan of how I plan to mount them to the roof here. We're over here at the RV park, and my Reese hitch had come in, as did my solar panels. I wasn't expecting the Reese hitch. This thing is quite a big box. I don't know where I'm going to store it short term. What we're doing here is I got all these little rust spots. So I'm gonna hit them with Rustoleum, but first I'm using this steel wool to, you know, get off a lot of the rust and everything. And these kinds of rust spots and stuff start developing because of basically condensation, and then of course the paint wearing away over time, right? And so when we have that condensation in there all the time, which goes on because there's no vapor barrier, it's a similar problem that you have when you're insulating a van, especially a cargo van like this. You know, when you're insulating one, you have problems with condensation. It'll get in to the insulation and everything and start mold. Well, I happen to know that about it, so what I'm working on trying to do here is I'm trying to prevent it by laying down a vapor barrier that should keep the humid air off of the metal. Because it's nice and dry and low humidity right now, I can put that vapor barrier down, and as long as basically the humidity of the air next to the metal stays around 30%, you're not going to see condensation. It has a lot to do with something similar to the dew point. I just got done putting down the Rustoleum to protect the rust. Here we are. This is what it looks like right now. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put the aluminum on. So all the rust is covered, as you see here, pretty much in the back too. Sorry, it's kind of low light. I'm gonna try to get this done tonight, so I probably won't actually get a chance to really show you guys and everything before I put the aluminum down, if you weren't able to see the Rustoleum, how it did and everything. We started off, you know, basically drying really fast, but the paint's still tacky. It's been 2 or 3 hours now. So I got my little 12-volt fan running on it. Hopefully that speeds it up. There's going to be the first piece that's going to come across the floor. As you see there, there's the aluminum. I just got it tucked under. That's the first piece that's going to come across the floor here. It's pretty late now, and I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. But here we are as far as like our vapor barrier on the floor. And so that'll keep condensation from happening down there. Well, today is Sunday again, and Carolina and I are getting ready to head back out to the RV park. We're gonna drop the van off and then come back for the RV. Well, we're back to the RV park. Not a bad spot. I like to have a little more shade than this one has, but you know, they had a bunch of spaces that they were actually doing some work on the electrical boxes, and we couldn't get over on the side with sewer today since we came in kind of late. All right guys, so I came over here to Handy Metal Mart, and I found the aluminum angle and flat bar that I needed, and they cut it down to size for me, so I have exactly what I need now to go ahead and build up my bracket for my solar panels. I thought that was pretty cool. They even cut it down for me. Add to that here, not only did they cut it down for me so I didn't have to worry about it, the total price was cheaper than if I had ordered it online. My plan is actually to rivet those sections together, so I figured that that would keep the flattest point in the connection spots. So I need to go get some rivets. I already have a rivet tool that I purchased when I was riveting the AC cover for the RV, so should be able to do it with that. If you remember when we were over at Marty's metal yard, I went ahead and got this angle iron and then flat bar that I'm gonna go ahead and use here in just a moment. And we're gonna try to go ahead and fabricate this with nothing but hand tools and a drill. So basically I'm gonna try to rivet this aluminum together. We'll see how she goes, It makes logical sense anyways. So I had my concept here put together, and I had everything cut at the shop, and I'm thinking that might have been a mistake. But here's how I decided to set it up. So I had this bar here that runs across, and it gives me some cross bracing so this stuff isn't flexing so much. My big problem comes in where these panels I got at one time, and these seem to be pretty much the same thickness all the way across. That's bent a little bit, but they're about the same all the way across. But if you notice here, this is absolutely more narrow than this aluminum there. And I got this panel first, and then I got these later. I really should have measured everything and then cut the aluminum to the exact dimension once I had it laid out here, but I really didn't know any better. This is my first shot at doing any kind of fabrication. For the most part, it's pretty good. Just could have been better. Okay, so I finally got it all riveted up, and now it's time to stick them all in and see how it sits up there on the van. All right, guys, so I got that rack that I just made for the solar panels up there. And I'm gonna have that centered, and I'm thinking on each side I'll put a 6-inch pipe for some shower water. I'm waiting on some fasteners because I don't want it to be able to be stolen, so I'm gonna have some special fasteners on here that can't be disconnected without a special drive bit, so it makes it harder for them to be stolen. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story, and make sure you do something every single day to reduce world suck. Peace, guys.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you.